Milestones in human evolution, the opposable, the forward-facing eyes, the upright. These are massive things in taking us out of the animal kingdom.
And one day, Carl, you'll walk upright.
Yeah. But what do you mean about eyes facing forward? You mean before we got here, there was people whose eyes were looking in their head? I don't understand. Is that what you mean?
No, because when we got sort of binocular vision.
Is that the answer?
Yeah, just cavemen in front of dinosaurs and that, they sort of went, oh. And then...
Well, it wasn't cavemen in front of dinosaurs, was it? Because cavemen weren't alive when dinosaurs were alive.
There was a couple knocking about.
Right, okay, fair enough.
There was a crossover point, surely.
Not dinosaurs like
15 million. Was the probably the Ice Age. There was still big reptiles.
I think it's fairly common knowledge that the dinosaurs did not exist.
Well, who gave the dinosaurs a name?
Well, no. Well, no. Carl, now tell me back now. What are the Amish?
They're just people who sort of live like in the olden times. So to them, they're sort of in about 1842 or something. So they're getting old papers and that. They haven't caught up to.
No.
They don't have telly.
They don't deny the 20th century has happened. They just don't want to be part of it. They look up and they see planes and they know what they are, and they go into the town and they see it in the window of Dixon's, a telly. They just don't want to be part of it.
No, they're still living. They are
still living like it's
that's what I mean.
Yeah, but they don't. They know about everything else. They just don't want to be part of it because they think that the sort of the revolution was a bad thing. They think that society became more and more depraved, and they wanted to go away from it, and they want to go back to old values, and they think they don't need TV and jets and that way of life. They can survive in the old way because the old way was better.
Missing out on Live 8.
Yeah, but they haven't had Band-Aid yet.
Yeah,
I think this is the problem that Carl had. He in his mind, they were just a bit delayed, so that in his head they were slowly moving towards the 20th century.
They wouldn't be able to watch most of these bands, all their electric guitar. They'd be allowed to watch Tracy Chapman.
Yeah.
Doing an acoustic set.
Yeah.
Between the bands. Yeah. That'd be alright.
But no, in Carl's mind, it's like if he...
Although they wouldn't like Fast Car. They wouldn't like singing about that. They go, I don't know what you're talking about. Pony and Trap. You got a pony and trap. That'd be alright.
But are they still... Do they still get sort of rubbish post and that saying we need your money for this, or get behind this charity?
They live in a isolated community. They're farmers, aren't they? They're farmers.
It's an agricultural community, and they're obviously very staunchly religious. In actual fact, it would suit you very well because you hate crowds, you hate groups of people, you don't like the modern world. Well, you'd love it down there, wouldn't you?
He wouldn't like getting up at 4 o'clock to milk a cow, though, would he?
Well, no, but he'd get used to it.
Go back to bed, couldn't you?
It's probably out. I mean, have they got anything to do with the Hare Krishna people?
No, nothing at all.
Because out of all the religions, that's I'm not a religious person. I don't understand.
You're only saying Hare Krishna because you've got the head. That's the only reason you think it'd be.
I'm halfway there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, out of all it, you just what was that?
Money just fell out of my pocket where I'm nearly laying down.
That's the danger of wearing sweatpants everywhere you go.
I'm only ever lying down in a chair.
No, I'm I've never been a religious type. If people want to do it, I let them do it and what have you.
Good of you.
But out of all of them, I want one that's not going to take over your life. I don't want one where you've got to get up 3 times a day and you've got to go and pray and that you've got to get up early. Forget that. It's getting in the way. But if it's something like, I was walking to work the other day, right, crossed Oxford Street, there's a little Hare Krishna fella there, and he sort of had, he had a leaflet and stuff, and he said, are you interested? And I said, what do you do? And he said, well, we're against getting stressed out and what have you. And he gave me a plum. They hand out food for some reason. But I sort of asked a few questions.
That's just the imagery. These two bold people, one of which is wearing an orange smock,
holding a plum in the middle.
He hands the other one a plum. It's almost like you could imagine some kind of religious painting.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what is their sort of main thing? Because he didn't really tell me that much. He was a Japanese bloke, so I didn't know what he was saying that much.
Why? He wasn't speaking English.
Not very well. He wasn't the best sales bloke to send out for them. is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But what's that? Are they? You're saying they're nothing like?
Well, I believe Hare Krishna is a kind of as an offshoot of a sort of Buddhist faith.
It is. I
And,
think they are Buddhist, aren't they?
Yeah, and obviously their kind of trademark, as it were, is that they have to say, I believe they have to say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna in a certain rhythm, in a certain order, a certain amount of times per day. That's why you see them walking down the street saying Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, because it's actually a sort of religious chant which they're obliged to do. So you see, even if you go into the Hare Krishna faith, you may find yourself, you know, in Tesco or whatever, forced to say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Perhaps
out loud,
out
not
loud.
just thinking it.
Yeah, no, out loud.
You can put it on an iPod and
You couldn't put that on an iPod. No, it doesn't count. No, I think you have to actually say it. So I guess that kind of eats into your social life a little bit.
And there's the wearing orange as well.
Particularly frustrating, I imagine, if you're in a cinema or a library. A little bit awkward there, you know, midway through.
Or
Star
you
Wars,
live
whatever.
next door to a bloke called Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
who constantly thinks you're calling him.
Yeah.
That probably.
Yeah. So that's in essence. I mean, I don't think we've quite done the Hare Krishna faith its full service there, but so interesting to you. I mean, you got handed a plum. You've been treated well by them.
Yeah, but he couldn't tell. I just wanted to know how much time it would take up. What are the benefits? You know, what can you do? What can't
Well, I
you
think
do?
the benefits are they probably don't get stressed out. They've probably got that sort of that zen, that chi-ness about them, where they try and interact and
Quite meditative.
yeah.
Yeah.
They've got some nice trainers as well, don't they, with their
Yeah.
orange.
What are you looking for then in a faith, Carl? You say what are the benefits? I mean, obviously Catholicism, you get the communion wine and bread. So
Yeah, but I can afford that.
right.
Probably, just, I liked the Crusaders. I was forced into joining that as a kid, because a mate sort of joined it, and, he sort of said, are you joining? I sort of swore at him. I said, I'm not doing that, right?
Yeah.
He said, right, if you don't come with me, I'll tell your mum that you just swore. So I was like, oh. So I went along, and they used to just go on the Friday when they played, you know, Sabutio and stuff, and then I went on one Sunday, and it was totally different. There was no Sabutio, there was no sort of, you know,
Table tennis.
the thing where you hold a thing and knock things over. Skittles, there was all that on a Friday. Went on the Sunday, it was rubbish. He said, right, sit down in this room. They gave me a Bible. Thought, this looks too heavy, this is too big, I'm not interested in this book. And I never went again. I used to hide on a Sunday when they came round. And that's been the only sort of...
I suddenly, why did it suddenly turn out to have to hide on a Sunday when they're coming round?
Because they wouldn't leave. They wouldn't leave.
Who was
the
it? Were they
house.
adults?
It was sort of a... Well, he seemed like an adult to me at the time, but he was probably about 27.
Well,
Like
that is an adult.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? He seemed a lot older when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he came knocking and that, and he used to say to me, Mum, I'll just tell him I'm ill or something. And he used to hang around to see if I'd eventually come out to play and that. And if I did, I think they would have grabbed me and took me there.
I love the idea that for you religion has to bring with it some kind of gift. It's like, you know, join our faith and you get an alarm clock radio. It's like something like
But
those
I think
banks or
religion.
credit
But I think
cards.
religion does bring a gift. Usually, it's
Well, the gift of the Lord.
Well, the gift of everlasting life, isn't it? And that's the problem with it. You know, a lot of people believe in it because they think.
But for
I'll be
Carl,
all right.
his feeling is like, that should be a given. That's safe. I'm definitely going home with eternal life. But what
Yeah.
else can I have? Is there
Why
an
do you have
iPod
to
in
have
it?
a religion? Because obviously I don't have a religion. I don't miss it, and I wouldn't want one. I'm an atheist, and that's out of belief. That's out of logic, and we don't get into the politics or the morality of it. Why do you feel you need a religion? Why don't you just get a hobby?
Well, I didn't want one. I don't want one. I just was saying that, you know, if I was to get one, which one would I go for? Is what I'm saying.
I'd
Yeah, I
like to
mean,
see you perhaps as a Jew. I think Judaism would suit you well, I think.
What are the hours like for that?
Tough. It can be tricky.
That's what I mean. I don't want anything that's, you know... And they have a day where they don't eat and stuff. I couldn't be doing that.
So then they have days when they eat too much.
Yeah, but what happens if I'm not that hungry that day? Like I say, I don't like change.